You know the pattern, different face, same silence. The argument you've had 100 times, different name. Same withdrawal, same hollow weeks that follow. The inner citadel. Today, we excavate what lies beneath conscious choice. Here at the inner citadel, the pattern is a summons. What if the choosing isn't conscious at all? 3 researchers, Bowlby, Jung, Porges, never collaborated. But their findings form a single, terrifying map. A map of why you keep arriving here again. This explores psychology for education, not therapy. If you're in crisis, please reach a professional. John Bowlby was 52 when he published the first volume. He had spent 2 decades watching children separated from caregivers. What he discovered changed everything we thought we knew. Separation from a caregiver isn't just distressing, it's survival-threatening. The infant nervous system adapts around one question. Will connection keep me safe or betray me? By age 3, it encodes as a neural blueprint. Bowlby called this the internal working model. It is not belief, it is a body expectation. The anxious model says, connection could vanish any time. The avoidant model says, connection is unsafe, I function alone. Levine and Heller found 1 in 4 is avoidant. 20% anxious, the rest secure or disorganized. Here is what self-help refuses to say clearly. The anxious person doesn't attract avoidance, they recognize them. The working model scans every room before awareness. A 2023 PNAS study found this model lifelong stable. But a mechanism overrides even Bowlby's blueprint entirely. Jung was investigating it 40 years before Bowlby. Jung was 46 when his marriage almost broke completely. He spent 3 years in the Red Book mapping. What he found was not her failure, his anima. The anima is the unconscious feminine image projected. The animus is the unconscious masculine image in women, also projected. Falling in love instantly means recognizing your projection. Not the person, a symbol dressed in the person. Von France wrote, "Inescapable this is without shadow work." What we found in this literature is striking indeed. Bowlby and Jung describe the same selection process. One is neural template, the other psychic image. Both are preconscious, both activate before reasoning begins. A client, I'll call her N, came to this realization at 48. 3 marriages, different men, the same unavailability pattern. Be honest with yourself for a moment. Does this pattern live in you too? Her father was brilliant, but absent in precise ways. Normal, that word carries enormous psychological weight. The model codes absence as love when early love did. We note this is not about blame at all. What follows the pattern isn't broken relationships, it's information. If resonant, the next episode deepens the mechanism. Now there is a third layer beneath both Bowlby and Jung. Stephen Porges at North Carolina built polyvagal theory. He found the vagus nerve runs brainstem to gut. This nerve assesses safety before your mind has data. Porges called it neuroception, perception without awareness. The nervous system flags tones, expressions, movement patterns. Not as conscious data, as felt safety or its terrifying absence. Here is the research no relationship book will show you. The body recognizes a familiar nervous system signature and calls it chemistry. Chemistry at 45 is often recognition of an old wound's texture. Van der Kolk found the body stores relational signatures. The nervous system recognizes a frequency it survives. Not joy's frequency, the one calibrated in childhood. The research says the opposite of what you'd expect. Choosing secure when anxious can feel emotionally flat. A 2024 personality study found this highest barrier. Security without intensity feels like absence to the nervous system. What happens next is where all three converge completely. What emerges from convergence changes the entire picture. The convergence, you did not choose wrong, you chose precisely. Your nervous system, your psyche, and your survival map all agreed. The problem is what the choice reveals about the wound. Jung wrote this at 62, after his own marriage. He wasn't theorizing about anima projection, he confessing. The Collected Works, Volume 9, the syzygy is the marriage of opposites within. What you seek externally exists as psychic structure internally. The wound that chose your partner is asking you to integrate what you projected. This is not comfortable. It removes a comforting narrative. The narrative, I chose badly, better choosing would fix it. 3 frameworks reveal what Verbeek calls meaning crisis. Verbeek at Toronto, the crisis at 40 is existential. Relationship pattern is a symptom of stalled individuation. When individuation stalls, it redirects into relationship drama. The partner carries everything the self refuses to examine. This is the convergence nobody teaches in couples therapy. Bowlby, you replicate early relational templates neurologically. Jung, you project unlived psychic content onto partners. Porges, your nervous system chooses before you think. 3 mechanisms, same outcome, same repeating destination. And here is what we haven't said yet for you. The pattern is not a flaw, it's fidelity to experience. The nervous system repeats not because broken, it learned. What was learned can under conditions be unlearned. This is the scientific basis for Jungian individuation. And here is the moment this framework must confront its own limits honestly. Jung's model is old. Binary gender views were revised. Modern attachment research complicates Bowlby's original categories significantly. We use these frameworks as lenses, not gospels. The lens is not the light. But this framework helps. It requires one thing of you. Stop asking, why do I keep choosing this person? Start asking, what does this person reveal I haven't examined? And spent a year in Jungian analysis on that question. She found not the animus desired, the unmourned father. The emotional unavailability she kept choosing was her attempt to make him stay. This is the precise reversal the framework predicts, and the one therapy must reach. When she stopped seeking the father's mirror, choice changed. Not through better dating, through her own absence examined. The resolution is coming, and it involves a practice you can begin tonight. But first, what does Daniel Siegel's research say is actually possible? Siegel's earned secure attachment is the scientific basis here. Earned secure attachment means your adult nervous system can learn a new baseline. Not by finding perfect partner, by rewiring the template. Deutsch's neuroplasticity research confirms what Jung intuited about psyche. The brain that built the wound is the same brain that can heal it. Siegel identifies 3 conditions for earned secure attachment. First, a coherent narrative of your attachment history written. Second, at least one sustained, safe, regulated attachment bond. This can be therapist, mentor, or friendship, not romance. Third, witnessing your own patterns without collapsing into them. Jung called this the witness function, the one who sees without identification. This is not detachment. Stoics called it prosage, self-observation. Try this tonight. Before sleep, complete 3 sentences written. The quality I keep finding in partners that my early caregivers also had is. The connection I learned to call normal in childhood was. The unlived quality in my own psyche that I keep projecting outward is. Do not censor the answers. Do not edit for comfort. The unconscious speaks in first drafts. This practice has 7 stages. We covered the first 3. The complete protocol is in our community resources section. What we want to leave you with is not a framework. It is a reframe. You have not been choosing wrong. You chose faithfully. Faithful to a map drawn when survival required exactly this. Was the map wrong? Does it still serve you now? At 40, 50, the honest answer is, not anymore. This is not a condemnation. It is the gift hidden in the pattern. The pattern repeated until you were ready to read it. You are watching this. That itself signals readiness now. You were told midlife is where dreams go to die. The inner Citadel story, midlife is where self gets honest. The examined life doesn't mean the comfortable life. It means the honest one. And the honest life, Jung insisted on this, eventually becomes the more deeply satisfying one. Begin with those 3 sentences tonight. Do not rewrite them. Bring what you find to therapy or trusted community. This video is not therapy. It is a map to the door where therapy begins. If what we've explored here has landed somewhere, that landing is the work beginning. You remember when you first felt the pattern, not intellectually, physically. That physical recognition is your nervous system showing you the doorway. The next episode goes deeper into Jung's shadow work relationships. Why shadow integration heals relationships cannot be done alone. If what you found resonates, subscribe. This conversation continues. The pattern repeating was never the enemy, your oldest teacher. What you do with the lesson, that part is entirely yours.